Oh, welcome to the Sharpe Way Show. So happy to have you with me this evening, a little bit past 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And yes, it is Wednesday, and I have a special. And I know some of you don't like this, but this is going to be a good one. It is my amazing governor, Kathy Hochul, Queen Kathy, first of her name, destroyer of businesses, banisher of conservatives. That's who she is. Amazing as well. She destroys local businesses more than anything. And now with her Night Kingslayer, she is fighting Trump. So she is the, I guess, Democratic, I don't know what would be the name. Champion, maybe, is the appropriate name. Champion. Maybe she is the champion. I love that. That's good. I guess for her. Not for anybody else, but for her, I guess. Number one, the reason why I bring this up is because now she's talking about how she's going to keep New Yorkers safe, what she's going to do, how she's going to fix things. She is on a PR tear everywhere because she wants people to think that she can handle this, she's strong, she's going to help. The problem is she can't fix things. She doesn't even know how. And I want to bring up some issues that I had in the past, which I think really important. I had a bunch of things that I've talked about in the past, people that I've talked to, things that I've done about the issues that she's talked about, and said that there was no way anyone could, kind of figure these out. It's utterly not true. None of this is true. We've talked about this for a long time. Let me bring her up. So we can see some of this, if we could, what she's going to be talking about and how she's talking about it. Let me just make sure I grab this here. She has returned.
Residents and business owners and others who are visitors on a weekly basis, that there is an underlying concern about safety.
There's constantly an underlying concern about safety. She has said, this is her words, that her number one job is keeping New Yorkers safe. That's what she said. She also said she will never give up her right, her words, to keep New Yorkers safe. Well, if New Yorkers are unsafe, she's failing. It's not her right anyway, and it's not even in her job description. Nowhere in her job description does it say the governor's job is to keep every New Yorker safe. Nowhere. Nowhere in her oath does it say that. She doesn't care. She's decided this to be true because I guess she talks to God, because she does tell us, she already said it, she talks to God. So she talks to God, and maybe God told her this. I wish God told the rest of us, but I guess he only told her. So yeah. And now she's saying Albany is safe, New York City is safe. She just keeps saying it. Meanwhile, the National Guard's everywhere.
I need to find out what's going on and how I can be the best partner for them.
See that? You got to be a partner.
Extraordinary work is being done by the city police department and the sheriff.
She will always, and I tell you this every time, this is an important piece. And this is why so many people are happy, or not happy, happy is not the right word, accepting, how about that? Accepting of Elon Musk and Trump trashing the government. Because people like Kathy Hochul will, in every single speech, do nothing but praise the hard work of the government employees and literally ignore any private sector people. Just ignore them completely. She cares only about government workers. Why? She's only been one. She's been a government. She was 30 years ago, maybe, give or take. I don't know how long ago it was. It was several decades ago. She was a local, was it city council? Something in her local area. She's from Hamburg, which is a town outside of Buffalo. She was like city council, whatever, some title there locally. She was a congressperson from New York State, lieutenant governor, and now governor. She thinks everything is about government workers.
Department and the DA's office.
And
our elected leaders.
Yes, great work.
The mayor, the county executive.
All of them.
District attorney, sheriff.
All those. Now, if they've been doing such a great job, why does crime suck? If they're all doing a great job, if everyone's doing a great job, why does it suck? Why does Albany suck? Why does New York City suck? Why does our state suck if everybody's doing a great job? That's what she says.
Our officials from the state are
See,
selling
they're all
numbers.
doing great. So great.
But I wanted to have the opportunity today to bring everybody together and talk about a path forward.
Okay, that's good.
How we can restore the sense and perception of public safety.
See, that's the key. You people, it's the sense of public safety, right? It's how it looks. That's the issue. The fact that they literally set people on fire multiple times last year in my subway, that's just perception. What's wrong with you, Mike? It's perception, okay? The fact that you have gangs literally robbing jewelry stores with sledgehammers. I wish I was joking. That is New York City. They're coming in and they're robbing jewelry stores with sledgehammers. Yes, just coming in, bashing everything to take the stuff out of the jewelry stores. That's just how it looks. I know that looks bad, but is it really that bad?
That is so necessary here. And I'm going to continue other investments.
Okay.
$400 million is in my budget right now.
There we go. As I tell you all the time, why is she so safe? Because all she ever does is hand out cash. Did she talk about the idea that, well, maybe if I had more opportunities, right? If I had more opportunities, then maybe people wouldn't be resorting to crime. Maybe if I was allowing cannabis shops to open up and people could have jobs in cannabis shops, they wouldn't resort to the black market. Maybe if I got rid of the black market, maybe if I made licensing easier, maybe if I did anything easier to help people make a living besides through crime, that maybe I'd have some crime go down. Maybe if you looked at the biggest reason for crime is the black market. That's a fact. If you think it's not true, you're fooling yourself. It is the biggest reason. The biggest reason for crime is the black market. There are others, obviously. That's the biggest one. So what if I start getting rid of the black market? What if I let people defend themselves? What if I wouldn't allow someone, and this is true, a guy who was arrested 87 times in New York City, if I wouldn't let him out to stab someone again? Let me say, again, not like once. He was violent multiple times, arrested not 18 times, 87 times. But that's the fine job being done by the DA. That's not the cops' fault. The cops are arresting him. That's their job. They arrest. So cop arrests, guy got a knife, he stabs somebody, you arrest him. Great. DA goes, what are you going to do? Judge goes, what are you going to do? And according to her, they're doing a fine job. So Phil says it, 88 times the charm. Look, I'm about second chances. I'm about 87th chances. That's what I'm about, Phil. I've always said that. Everyone needs to have 87 chances. After that, they go to jail.
And I need support from this entire community to help me get this over the finish line in the next few months during our
you guys got to help me give you $400 million and change nothing.
Negotiations. We're talking about,
tell me,
$150 million.
Wow. That's got to be something great. $150 million got to be something great. What's that for?
State museum.
Oh, for the museum.
Place I take my granddaughter to when she visits.
Oh. So you like the museum. So you're using the fact that there's violence in Albany so you could have a better museum for your daughter, your granddaughter, $150 million. Yeah. This is a priority. She's keeping you safe. Mike, why are you mad? She's keeping you safe by upgrading the museum in Albany for $150 million so her and her granddaughter can go there. And she says it with a straight face. Why? The reason is all the people behind her are all getting checks in some way, shape, or form. Every time you see people behind her going, yeah, they're all getting paid somehow. So that one of those guys is probably like the museum security guy or something, right? They're making tons of cash. So people are just getting taken care of. Yes. So.
Funding the next phase of 787.
Hold on. Mike says, I don't go to museums. See, that's your problem, Mike. If you go to a museum, you would stop being a criminal and stabbing people. Oh, wait, you don't do that. Well, then you would stop being in the black market. Oh, wait, you're not. Wait a minute, I don't get it. This doesn't make any sense, Mike. The museum's supposed to fix things. I'm not getting it. There must be something you're missing because she can't be wrong. So clearly you're wrong somehow.
The On-Ramp Center, the College of St. Rose's campus, which is going to be extraordinary.
Oh, so now we're going to fix the roads that go to the college because that'll stop crime. Look at what she's saying. I'm not making this up. This is a press conference. And the press will not push her on any of this. She just said we have to make things safe. And I have $400 million. And part of it is museums and an exit ramp to a college. This is her just giving out jobs to people, her contractors. That's why she's safe. The contractors who will fix the museum up, the contractors who will fix that road. And Zach says it perfectly, my roads. Correct. This is how it works. But she's keeping you safe.
A lot of places, a lot of parts of our city do feel vibrant and alive and they're humming.
Okay.
But not every street.
Okay.
Not every corner.
Okay.
And I want to focus on the fact that, yes, so crime statistics are heading downward. That is a good accomplishment.
Yes. Every time they say that, they're heading downward from the height of the lockdowns. Accurate statement. From the height of the lockdowns. She doesn't say that part, but that's the reality. From the height of the lockdowns, it is lower. That's accurate. Yes.
And thank everyone who's been involved. That down 12% overall. Statewide, crimes are down dramatically. Shootings are down. But it's all about perception of reality.
It's just
and how
perception.
we can work together.
Just perception,
to give people
guys.
that stronger sense of security.
Stop thinking
I've
like
offered
things are bad.
additional money over the last few years. We've provided $47 million.
You know what will work? You know what works every single time? And you guys don't get this. This works every time. Just throw money at the problem. It works every time. It is, with the exception of always, it works. With the exception of never. With the exception of it never working ever. With that exception of it never ever working, it always works. So this time we'll throw more money at
to
it.
the county and the city for law enforcement.
For law
Just
enforcement.
last year, $18 million. This also covers our GIVE program.
Oh, that's a program that works.
Gun-involved program to make sure we get guns off the streets. That's been successful. Our SNUG programs to have violence disruptor programs.
SNUG and GIFT. We got it. We got all the cool names for the programs. Okay.
For young people, let them know the alternatives. The Project Rise, which helps community service organizations that provide mental health services. A lot of our challenges on our streets, whether it's New York City, Albany, Rochester, Syracuse, or Buffalo, stem from the fact that there are many people who are dealing with severe mental health crises.
Yes. So what you could do is maybe put some of that money that you were putting towards, like, I don't know, the $400 million you're putting into Albany when it comes to the museum and the road, and maybe put it into helping with the mental health facility. Maybe I'm nuts. Maybe you could do that. That would be something you could think of. I'm looking over here at Instagram, and if I got it, Rudenlieb, I would say it right. I need to be more of a problem. You might get some checks, brother. You might get a check if you're more of a problem. She's got $400 million to spend. So, or maybe you should start a construction company and then donate like $9,000 to her, and she'll throw you a job here or there. It's not bad. Ron Token says, who's going to challenge her? I don't know. I wonder. Maybe we could find somebody to do that. I'm just saying, maybe. Joel over on Rumble says, when will unions stop supporting people like Hochul? Well, to be forward, law enforcement unions don't. Law enforcement unions support Republicans in New York State. I don't know if that's true across the country, but I know it's true across the state. And what makes me angry is I've been supporting the corrections officers for 7 years now, and they still don't support me. They would still support Republicans anyway. Doesn't matter. So, yeah. There we go. Yeah. Any case, let me keep going.
These that demonstrate they're no longer able to take care of themselves on our streets. Yeah. And that is not compassionate to leave them there. But I want to talk about
because her answer, which she doesn't want to say, is her answer is arrest them. I'm not joking. Her answer is, well, just arrest them then. Huh. Arrest them, put them in jail. Yeah, that's our largest mental facility. What else would you do?
$1 million
Makes sense.
that I want to surge for the City of Albany Police Department.
Oh, okay.
I want a stronger police presence. The
okay,
officers I
that'll
spoke
solve
to
it.
know the impact that they have when they're walking down a block. It gives people a sense of confidence. A sense
or
of
occupation. Or occupation.
So we'll assist with overtime.
Okay. That concept of let's just put more cops, that was the 1992 crime bill. That's what it was. We're going to put 100,000 more cops in the streets. That was the crime bill. How'd that work out particularly for brown and black communities, low-income communities, immigrant communities. That didn't work out good at all. And she's a Democrat. The answer isn't just throw more cops in the street. The answer is change the environment. Change the environment. Worse environment, worse outcomes.
We'll cover overtime shifts to ensure overnight coverage is even more enhanced. We'll pay for new intelligence gathering technology.
Well, see that? She's going to pay for new intelligence gathering technology. I know what you're saying, Phil. You're going, hey, Larry, isn't that just cameras for surveillance state? Shut up. Shut up. No, that's intelligence gathering technology. Get it straight. Get it straight. Okay, Phil? I know what you're thinking. Phil's like, that's just more cameras, surveillance state. No, she didn't say that, did she? She said intelligence gathering technology. Duh.
I have seen this work very successfully in those cities, and I want to make sure that we
have made sure that we have created surveillance states, police states in those cities, and it's worked very well in literally no city. What happens is crime doesn't go down. What happens is you do catch more criminals here or there, but if you're just going to throw them back out, does it really matter? Right? We know who did it. We arrested him. Okay, how many times has been arrested? 85 times. Damn it. We have to arrest him 88 times before we can put him in prison. This is New York State. So let him back out. Let him get arrested 3 more times. Does he have to stab anybody? It's better if he does, but not required. Let him go commit a crime 3 times, catch him on the camera. I'm sorry, not the camera. Don't catch him on a camera. Catch him on the intelligence gathering technology. Catch him on that. And then the 88th time, he will go to prison. That's how that works. Andrea says, hello, big brother. Indeed. Indeed. Yes. Joel over on a Rumble says, New York will party like it's 1984. Accurate. Yes, accurate. And some of you are joking. You're like, Larry, why do I care? New York is stupid. True. New York is crazy. True. New York is becoming a police state. True. Why do I care? I don't live in New York. Because it's coming to you. Because it's coming to you. You might go, not in my state. You are fooling yourself. New York State and California, these 2 states, we go out of our way to test out the most authoritarian shit we could possibly imagine. That's what we do. And if we get away with it, we then go, see? And other governors go, wait a minute. New York got away with that? Really? Oh, okay. Let me try that. Let me see how that works. And it slowly goes towards you. And Cheyenne says, not in Texas. You are fooling yourself, Cheyenne. Just takes more time. See, it goes to Jersey in like a year or 2. That's it. Like a year or 2. Texas, it'll get to Texas too. But it'll be something like, 15 years or something. It won't be like tomorrow. Connecticut, like 2 years. Massachusetts, 2-3 years. And it just spreads like a virus. That's what happens. And one of these days, yeah, it's coming to you. Yes, it is. Andrea says, I'm in Illinois. We will get it. Yes, you will. Yes. Some states are more susceptible to our diseases than others. Texas has a lot of immunity. Accurate. None of you are completely immune. None of you are. Horrible. My VA lady says, exactly. Florida will take more time. It will. It will. But whatever we get away with, yes. This is why I fight here. People tell me all the time, Larry, you're crazy. Why don't you just leave New York? Don't you think I think about that? Of course I do. Of course I do. But this is the front line. This is the front line. Someone's got to fight in the front line. I'm the Marine. I fight in the front line. If we hold them here in New York, we hold them everywhere. That's how it works. If we hold them here, we hold them everywhere. Because what happens here will eventually come to your state if they get away with it. If we hold them here, it doesn't come to your state. But if we lose here, it begins to slowly infect every state next to us, and it will come to you. It might take 1 year if you live in like Jersey. It might take 2 or 3 if you live in like Vermont. It might take 15 or 20 if you live in Texas or Utah. But it's coming to you, and you see it already. You see it already. Don't fool yourself. There's a reason to fight here. That's why I fight here. Yes. So, Andrea goes on to say, next is face recognition software too. Welcome to China. No. Shh, Andrea. It's enhanced intelligence gathering technology. See? I got it. See? Yeah, absolutely. So Shannon says, have you been to Louisiana? I have. Been to New Orleans more than once. I have. You think it's not going to go there? Okay. Keep thinking. Yes. Ryan says, Missouri, even though it's a red state, does some authoritarian crap. Heck, the state of Missouri can't even get your driver's license in a decent time frame. Talk about a garbage system. All that has to happen for all of you who think that your state is immune is your state has to go into some form of debt, some form of problem, something to where they can't get what they want, and they need to stop punishing the people. And it would simply copy that. They'll just copy that. That's what they'll do. They'll just copy.
Having the state of the art, the best in class technology available here.
It's technology, Andrea.
I also
okay,
want to
technology.
provide the sheriff with $500,000 for personnel overtime pay.
That's why he's happy getting the check for $500,000. I would be happy too. I would stand behind her. I would. Shelly, you do it too. John, you would. You would literally stand behind her. If I said, hey, John, here's a check for $500,000. Stand behind her and act like you care. You'd be like, done, Larry, done. Ryan, put on your uniform, put on a nice suit, best suit you got. Stand behind her, act like you are on board, like nod your head and stuff. And I'll give you $500,000. Ryan be here with his best suit he ever had. He go buy a new one. Ryan would have fully pressed shirt, ready to go, 100%. Of course you would. She had $150,000 for one guy, $150 million for one guy, $5 million for the other, $500,000 for this guy. You give me $500,000, I will stand there with I'll go buy a brand new suit. I'll buy a custom suit. I will buy a custom suit, custom shirt, brand new shoes, and a brand new watch. And I will show up right there, smiling out of my head. Thank you for my check of $500,000. 100% I would do it. Like, Larry, you're a sellout. Yes.
However, he feels it needs to be used. A narrative that Albany is a crime-ridden city is false.
Well, false. See, God behind is not in his head. He's like, yeah.
But I want to make sure, and I challenged everyone to tell me what success looks like. How will we know when we're there?
Okay, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you this, and I mentioned this in 2018. 2018 when I ran. People asked, how do you know if you win? If you win the governorship, how will you know you've been successful? And I was very, very simple. I said, I have to treat New York State like it is a business. And the people in New York State are my customers. If I'm losing customers, my business is failing. If I'm keeping customers, my business is successful. That's what I said. So I said, I have to stop the bleeding from people leaving New York State. That's what I have to do. I have to stop the bleeding, stop them from leaving. Now, in 4 years, could I get people coming back? Probably not. The image of New York State is so bad, I probably can't fix that in 4 years. But can I stop people from leaving? Can I stop the bleeding? I can't heal yet, but can I stop the bleeding? Yes. And I said, I would know I'd be successful if I stop the bleeding. People stop leaving. Here is my answer. If people stop leaving and happily come back into Albany, if people start actually working and going downtown Albany, if that happens, if the downtown of your local cities and towns become vibrant, you are winning. That's how you are winning.
And I'm going to stay committed to this until that objective is achieved, where people in this city, visitors, residents, businesses, all have that foundation of security that they deserve.
They deserve it. You guys deserve it.
Can be frightening.
Okay. I agree.
We have to get to a place where this city feels stable, safe, and secure. And that is what I'm committed to with these.
The sad part is, this is the sad part. And for those who don't live in New York State, you may not recognize this, but if you live in New York State, you get it. The story she just told is every major city in New York State. She could tell that story if she was in Syracuse. She could tell that story if she was in Rochester. She could tell that story if she was in Buffalo. She can tell that story if she was in New York City. Those are our largest cities in New York State. Those are our largest ones, right? Albany isn't even that large. 100,000 people, maybe give or take. Maybe 100,000 people. It's probably our fifth largest city. I think our first office is New York City. Second, I think, is Buffalo. Third is Rochester or Syracuse. They rotate. I don't know which one is which. So I think Rochester's third and Syracuse is fourth, and then Albany's fifth, or there's a combo in there. Those are our top 5 cities. There's other larger cities in New York, like Binghamton, Ithaca, right? But those 5 cities, she could be in any of the cities and say exactly the same thing. That's the problem.
Resources and the continuation of support from our state police superintendent. James is here as well.
Oh, great.
The entire team is committed to this.
You brought them here to stand behind you and nod.
On this topic, and you can ask anyone behind me as well.
Governor, on this topic.
Okay.
One of the big problems that local officials have highlighted is the lack of state workers here.
Yes.
Will you consider, as they're considering in Washington or doing in Washington, a mandatory return to work?
Now, this is a hard thing for her to deal with. She hates this. Why? All right. For those who don't get it, one of the things you're hearing is the guy is saying, hey, one of the problems when it comes to Albany, for those who don't know, is the capital of New York State. It's not New York City, it's Albany. He says one of the problems is that the workers are at home. Well, if the workers are at home, they're not downtown, right? They're not downtown. They're not at the Capitol. So they're not working there, which means there's no parking, there's no lunches, there's no people going to shops. So why don't you force them to come to work, and then they'll show up at the places, right? Do that. That's what he's asking. He says they're doing it in DC. They're forcing them to come on in. So why don't you do that? Now, the only reason why she won't do it, there's only one reason. Why do you think there's this one reason? It's because Trump. Because Trump's doing it, as he said, as they're doing in Washington now. So will you copy a Trump policy? If Trump was saying the best policy in the world, she wouldn't do it because Trump's doing it. Doesn't matter. If Trump says the sky is blue, no, it isn't, it's green. She will say it's green. So she can't stand this because she knows that if it wasn't for Trump, she would absolutely order everybody to go into Albany. Of course she would. This is the woman who loves lockdowns. She would force people to go in no matter what. I don't care what you think. You better be in here. She wouldn't think twice. But Trump's doing it, so therefore it's bad.
And can you?
I'm very aware of what has happened to downtown areas across the state, not just Albany, but obviously we have a high percentage of state workers here.
Yeah. Yes, as I was just saying.
When people are participating in remote work. I also have to tell you this. I still have a shortage of workers. And I have to be sensitive to a decision that could actually trigger a larger exodus of people from the state workforce.
So she just said, it's unpopular. So if I do it, they may leave. Yeah, I may lose some people. To be forward, you probably won't. I mean, you probably won't. I don't mean that. How do I mean it? There aren't many jobs in New York State. If there were, people would stay here. And the vast majority of workers here either work for big finance, right? That's a big one still. Big tech, not big, I'm sorry, big ag. Sorry, I was thinking big farms. Big ag, right? 2 big ones. Or government contractor. There's a lot of contractors here. Yes. So, yeah. But no. How do I know that? Because of the strikes with the corrections officers. This wasn't 5 minutes. This strike was in the making for 8 years. I'm going to prove that to you in a minute.
I have thousands of jobs that are vacant right now, but I'm aware of the impact that this has had. And it's something that I've actually engaged in conversations with my team on what this does to the downtown urban area, but also.
Yeah, Joel says New York State has a worker shortage. New York State's not hiring anyone. Okay, here's the issue, Joel. New York State is insanely overbloated. You might go, wait a minute, is that true? Yes. With what? Administrators. Far too many of them. It's far too many of them. And I'm not joking when no, do we need administrators? Of course we do. Of course, if you're going to have a government, you've got to have administrators. I get it. That's how it works, right? Or don't have a government. Maybe. But anyway, my point is, if you're going to have a government, and that's where we are, you have to have administrators. I get that. You don't have to have as many as we have. And some of our administrators, I'm not joking, make $400,000 per year. Let me say it again, because some of you just fell out of your chair. They make $400,000. There are administrators who make more than the governor. Correct. Now you might go, the governor, he's got to make a decent amount, like $100 grand. No, our governor is the highest paid governor. She makes $250,000 a year. She makes $250,000 a year. Now she gets tons more through other things, but her salary is $250,000 a year. She's already wealthy, and so is her husband. They're both already wealthy, and she gets $250,000 a year. Yes, our city council, New York City Council, makes about $150,000 a year. Yes, yes, you gonna leave that job because you got to go to work? You ain't leaving that job. Anyway, so yes, we do have a worker shortage, it's true, but we are bloated. That's also true. The other problem is we have so much debt. This state has, I think, almost $400,000 in debt. Mike, could you do me a favor if you're listening, if you're watching, post how much debt we have in New York State? I think it's about 400,000. I think it's in that area. Last I checked, it was around that. But that was a while ago. I think it's still in that area.
So we bring more housing down here. These buildings, these storefronts, they should be filled with people living here, young people. The young people work in the Capitol.
Okay, see what she just said? This is the problem again. She says we have to build housing. Okay, that's nice. These buildings should be filled with young people. Yes, but where are they going to work? There's no business here. You don't provide a pro-business. New York State is ranked 50th when it comes to business friendliness. 50th. We beat California again. Take that, California. We're the worst. We are number one. When it comes to crushing business, we are number one, damn it. New York State, least friendly to business is New York State. And I'm making that up. Do your own homework. It rotates between us and like California. We go back and forth, but this time we got you. Take that, California. We're the worst. No one's worse than us. We're number one. Right. So nobody wants to come here. Since nobody wants to come here, that's the problem. Nobody wants to work here. You can build all the housing you want. We have, again, I'm not making this up. You can Google this if you want to. We have a thing called zombie houses in New York State. Zombie houses. Zombie house means people who just packed up and left. Didn't care if they have a lease. Didn't care if they have a mortgage. Left. It's not a housing problem out there. It isn't. Mike says New York State is $66 billion. Hold on. Did you count unfunded? I'm sorry. Yeah. Did you count unfunded? I think it's more if you count those. But maybe I'm wrong. So Phil says, Larry, they bulldozed my grandfather's neighborhood in downtown Albany to build the Empire State Plaza and a huge parking lot near the grounds up. Yep, that makes sense. There we go. Robert says the AI answer. Hold on. Robert says the AI answer is, as of 2024, debt was $180 billion. That sounds more like it. Makes New York the second highest state in the United States. That's more like it. See, I knew it was up there. Last I remember it was almost 400, 3 something. Last I remember. So there we go. That's more like it. I knew Uncle Joe wrote us some checks. He didn't write us that many checks though. He gets down to 66. He didn't get down that low. That might be our deficit. Maybe that could be our deficit. So, but yeah, we're definitely over $100 billion in debt. There's no doubt. Only people worse than us, I think, is Illinois. I think they're worse. Sorry, Andrea, but I think it's worse.
Those who are educated at our phenomenal colleges here who want to stay, they need a place to live. So
they need a place to work.
Safety that's here, but also if I can drive more housing into places that may have had government workers, then we replace
she has less government workers.
People that are here 24/7. This is their home. And I want to continue focusing on our housing policies as well to deal with that.
Are you considering that?
I am looking at all the policies I can.
She won't say it. She won't do what Trump does.
To assist the revitalization of downtown Albany.
On topic, either for the police department or the sheriff's office, are you having an issue with retention and recruitment?
Okay, here's the best part. They're having an issue with retention and recruitment for the police department, right? That's, by the way, also happening in New York City, too. It's all over. Having an issue with retention and recruitment in corrections. People don't want to be law enforcement in New York State. Here's my problem with that. If you remember, and for those of you who might remember, if you remember this, if you're, 40 years old or older, maybe about that or older, you can remember a time when being in law enforcement was something that kids wanted to do, that people would think about when they were in high school. Not just that, in New York City, to be a New York City cop back in the day, not true anymore, but back in the day, there'd be a waiting list of 1 or 2 years to get in. Some of you may remember this, right? Mike, you might remember this. You would have to wait 2 years on a waiting list before you can get into the academy to be a cop in New York City. Not anymore. Those days are gone. And when did that really start to happen? Lockdowns. The lockdowns changed everything. It's right there, right in 2020. Everything changed because of those stupid, broken lockdowns. And they won't tell you that, but that's the reason. From that time, everything changed. Everything changed. As I told you, you go before the lockdowns 2020, it was relatively, and I mean relatively, not deadly to be a cop in New York City, right? Generally speaking, it was a tough job, of course, and you fought back and forth, those types of things, but it was very rare to get actually shot or killed as a cop prior to 2020. It's rare. If you did it, usually it was by friendly fire. I'm not even joking, like cops shooting off and being undisciplined and shooting other cops. That was a more common thing that would happen prior to 2020. Since the lockdowns, oh no, cops get shot now. It's now a deadly job in New York City. It wasn't. It is now. It is a deadly job now. It was a dangerous job. Now it's a deadly job. Well, yeah, they know that. Since the lockdowns, being corrections officer is now a deadly job. Yes, it wasn't before. Now it is. Now it is. Changed that whole time frame. Michael's going to say 2016 BLM was a term for black police, lockdown for all law enforcement. You know what? I would say that was the prepping. How about that? That was like the prepping of the dough to put the cake in the oven, right? Or not the dough, pie. To put the pie in the oven, right? 2016 was like the prepping. And then it went in the oven, came out in 2020. Done. Yeah, I would say that. They went together. Yeah, I would agree with you on that one, Mike. I think they went together. I agree. All right. I want to keep going. She's so terrible. But again, your governor's probably bad too, but mine is the worst.
What does the police department staffing look like as of right now?
All right. So she asks one of the guys who she's giving the check to. She goes, hey, I gave you a check. So why don't you say something because I gave you a check.
What does your backfill look like?
Yep. So we are having an ongoing hire and retention issue.
Yep.
We're about 79 people short.
That's a lot of people for Albany. Albany Police Force total has maybe 400 people in it. 350 people maybe total. So you got 350 to 400 people as your police force in Albany, right? And you're down 80. Holy cow. Now that's a small police force. New York City has about 35,000, but it used to have 40,000. So New York City's 5,000 down. New York City's 5,000. You can't get people to join New York City Police Force. They're begging them to come aboard. They won't come aboard. And they're leaving like it's on tomorrow. They're doing what for them is smart. You go to New York City, you work for 3-4 years, whatever time frame is. Now you've been a New York City cop for 4 or 5 years, and you bail and you go someplace else. And most of the people, if you go to some other city or state, they're happy to have a New York City cop. Like, you've been in New York City, we're good. Come to our city's way smaller, nowhere near as harsh. Come to us. So they spend time in New York City, 5 years, whatever the time period is. They pack up and they leave. Yes, they just leave. Phil says all Albany police are leaving for the suburbs. Yes. Why would you stay in Albany? Go to suburbs. It makes sense. I get it. And then why Liberty says parole officers will be armed by the end of the year. 100% true. They probably should be, to be fair with you. They might, maybe they should be. I'm not even sure. But yeah, yes, 100%. So he's saying it. We're in trouble.
We are currently hiring off of the civil service test that we have active right now. We also have an active hiring process. We're providing a test in May. So join APD.
You have to make a new test.
Is something we have going on right now. And we're also looking at other avenues to be able to fill some of the needs for non-police services. We often get many calls for service that don't.
Okay. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? Why all of a sudden you just watched, if you were paying attention, once she said that, all of a sudden, Kathy Hochul nodded her head yes. Why? That means contractors. That's it. Other alternatives that means contractors. That means her cronies get government jobs. Why do you think she's ready to give him $400 million? right? That's what she said. She started this by saying, I got $400 million. $150 million goes to my museum so that she can hang out with Mike. That's the first 150 is for. I got $500,000 to this guy because he got a suit on. He got that. And then I got billions to give to other people. And I got some millions to give out to my contractors. Every single time I do one of these, have you noticed? Every time there is a handout to a crony. This is how government actually works. Now, what was the plan, the actual plan to make Albany better? Did you hear one? I didn't, because there isn't one. This is another form of grift. This is how it always works. We wonder, why does nothing get solved? Because this. Why does the budget keep getting bigger, but nothing gets solved? Because this. How can Kathy Hochul, the terrible governor she is, how can she still be in power? Because this. This is why I show you this. Your governor, wherever you live, is doing the same thing. She just does it obviously. They're all doing the same thing.
Require police response. So we're looking at those as well. We'll be utilizing some of this funding to be able to add on patrols to be able to address some of those needs as well. But we also recognize that the women and men of the department work tirelessly to address many of those needs. So we have to recognize.
They work so hard. They always work so. Look, I'm not saying that they don't work hard. I am sure that there are many government employees that work hard. I'm not saying they don't. Look, if you pay your bills, your job is important. Period. It pays your bills. I don't care if it's a government job or not a government job. If your job pays your bills, it's an important job. Good for you. I hope you work hard. It isn't the point, though. Because I can say they work hard, the government employee isn't creating the policies. The government employee is enforcing your bad policies. Fix your policies, then the government worker who's working so hard will be effective. If you tell your employee to dig for oil, I don't know, in Maine, is there oil in Maine? I don't think there is. In Maine versus Texas, they're not going to find oil, no matter how hard they work. So put them in the right spot so when they dig really hard, they can find oil. This idea of saying it's okay because they work hard. No, you're supposed to make sure the guys and gals are doing the right thing, and then their hard work pays off. Garrett coming in hard. I appreciate my friend. 5 gifted memberships from the Sharpe. Thank you guys. Grab them. Please, again, remember the rules. If you got $10 million this week, you are not able, you should not take the Sharpe membership if you've got $10 million. If you've got $10 million, you have to become a member the regular way, right? So that's it. Remember, if you did not get $10 million, you may take one of Garrett's memberships. Garrett, thank you for coming in. But if you did get $10 million, do not do that. Also, remember the rule. If you join the Russian military this month, you got a big bonus. So you may not take memberships. You got to pay on your own if you join the Russian military. And lastly, if you happen to get a $2,500 raise monthly, if you got a $2,500 raise, join the Russian military, or got $10 million, you may not take Garrett's gifts. Otherwise, you may. So please go ahead and take that, and we'll be good. Thank you so much for that, Garrett. You are amazing. I appreciate it tremendously. Also, guys, if you don't have one of those, no worries. You can still click the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. Yes, that button. The like. It's like. Click that one. Why? Because when you click it, the man who controls my life right now, his name is Al. That's his first name. His middle name is Gore, and his last name is Rhythm. That guy controls this entire show, and he loves it when you click the button. When you do that, he goes, oh, people like it. I should show it to others. Not just that, if you can share it, that's also good. Share it, repost it, put it into a Facebook group, share on X, whatever the case may be, please do so. And also follow me on Facebook, X, and Rumble. If you don't follow me on Facebook, X, and Rumble, you hate the children. We've discussed this already, right? Why would you hate the children? I don't get it. Don't hate the children. So please do that. It's important. Subscribe on YouTube if you can. It'd be amazing. And click the all notifications so you get notified when I go live. Super chats go right to the front. So if you want your chat going right to the front, please click on the super chat if you want to. Or rant me on Rumble. Also goes to the front. You can become a member if you don't want to take one of Garrett's because you did get the $10 million, or you join the Russian military, or you got a $25 raise per month. Either of those things happen. Then you have to become a member this way. Click the join button, $4.99. It does matter, please, on YouTube or on Rumble. Same thing. Click subscribe only during the live. So I hope I covered all of those. Thank you again, Garrett, for that. All righty. Let me keep going if I could.
That we have to up our staffing to be able to give them some relief.
What kind of a void does that leave then in Albany? I mean, 79 people, that seems like a huge deficit.
That is a deficit.
Yeah,
it is.
it
He's
does.
nodding.
It definitely
Yep.
leaves a void, and it is something that we are continuing to make up for by having officers work extra shifts, by utilizing this funding to be able to get officers out there.
There we go. So we won't make anything better. We won't do that. That would be stupid. We won't do that. He's even saying it. Like, he's literally saying it. So remember, the actual answer is always the same. More money. Why are we in such debt? More money. That's the answer. Just more money. So we'll take the cops who are going to put up with this and we'll run them into the ground. And here's the worst part. We're going to run them in the ground. We're going to make the cops work 12, 18-hour shifts, whatever it is, 16-hour shifts. And then when they're exhausted and they screw up because they're exhausted, because we're running them into the ground, well, as soon as that happens, we'll hammer them and call them bad cops and put them in jail. What else? What could go wrong? Right? What could go wrong? Meanwhile, that guy goes to jail. Meanwhile, someone else is killed. Why? Because he's working 7, 18-hour shifts in a row. That would be the reason. And he's literally saying, we're going to prep everybody for failure. We're not going to fix anything. We're going to prep everybody for failure. Then after that, we're going to make sure we give Kathy Hochul, a couple of her cronies will get some cool administrative consulting gigs that make tons of money. And I shouldn't complain because I'm a consultant. So this is basically a handout to guys like me. That's how I know it. This is how I know it. I used to be part of I did a lot of training. I did a lot of training for New York City agencies. Where'd that money come from? This. It's handouts to consultants. I should be happy. I should just go to Albany and get some of that cash. Maybe I should. Hey, Mike, maybe you need to go to Albany and get some of that cash. All right. Saying it's there.
Again, we are looking at some unique opportunities to be able to address bringing social workers, have them go out in the street, deal with homeless issues, people with unmet behavioral health issues, so we can concentrate on more police-related.
Yes, Joel says it right. Forcing overtime, making them take extra shifts, like we did with the COs. Yeah. And what could go wrong? What could go wrong? The COs are happy. Oh, wait. Yeah, exactly correct.
Any other on topics? Okay, thank you, Will.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Now, she takes off for a few minutes, but she comes back to talk about, of course, the corrections officers. Of course, because you can't let that go. And watch how she begins with the corrections officers. She puts that right on there. And of course, you're going to go for that. She had to make sure she touches this. So
I want to take a moment to address the illegal walkouts that are occurring at prison facilities all across the state of New York.
Immediate insult. This is how she starts it. She doesn't start with, I am sorry for having a situation to where my corrections officers have basically abandoned us. I should have fixed this. No. She says, I'm going to address the illegal. It's illegal. That's why. So, Democrat, pro-union, I guess. People strike, no. Pro-worker, I guess, no. She's clearly neither pro-union and neither pro-worker because the first thing she says is insult the illegal. See, you guys are striking. It's illegal. That's the problem. Now, if it's illegal, is she going to arrest them? Yes. We'll get there. Yes.
Let me be clear.
Be clear.
The legal actions being taken by a number of individuals.
A legal action, again, she says it twice. She has to double shame you. You thought one shaming was enough? No. I'm shaming you double.
Individuals is putting the entire state at risk.
The whole state's at risk. Now, she's not exaggerating. Remember when she said that if we didn't get congestion
We
pricing,
need them back to work.
that the entire economy of the country was going to collapse? Remember that? Last time I did this? She said the entire economy is going to collapse if we don't get congestion pricing. She's not exaggerating. Here, the entire state's going to collapse because these people didn't show up. Think about that. Lunatic, how are you, sir? Thank you for the $2. These people are insane. I'm not going to go there. You're going to get me canceled, lunatic. GAL-O's. I would say a lot of people would agree with you on that. That's all I'm going to say. You'll get me canceled. But yes, thank you for $2. Yes. Joel says, aren't all strikes illegal? Company cannot lock you out. Workforce cannot strike. No, it depends. It depends. Some of them are legal. Depends. Some of them are. So yes. Liberty that says the pro-union Dem hiding behind the anti-union law from the 60s, the Taylor law. Yes. Thank you. Because she cares about labor so much. She cares tremendously.
This must end immediately.
Must end. You guys
My
gotta
administration has worked tirelessly over the last 9 days to resolve this.
Tirelessly. They have been working tirelessly. I thought she was fixing other stuff. No, she's been working tirelessly for this because they always work hard. She says it all the time, working hard. Let's start with shaming.
In fact, we've brought in mediators requested by the union.
See that?
Mediation started yesterday. It continues again today.
So we hired some of my friends as contractors. I know I'm a mediator. So yes, I'm aware of this. So we hired contractors. There we go.
We want to find out what the issue is.
We don't know what it is.
Because the individuals who've walked out
Yeah.
in an unsanctioned strike,
Unsanctioned.
unapproved by the union,
Unsanctioned, unproved, illegal. These people murder them all.
have yet to tell us the issues.
They didn't tell you the issues. I can't believe that. They didn't tell you the issues. Weird. They didn't tell you the issues. You didn't know what they were. You were shocked and surprised by those issues. Weird, because I seem to remember something. I remember. This is just me. I mean, maybe I'm the weirdo here. Let me show you something if I could. Maybe I'm the weirdo here. But I remember seeing last week when I did my radio show talking about this, I seem to remember them providing a list right here. Right here. Here it is. Back from last week. What are they mad about? Here's the list. Literally. Demands from strikers. Reverse the Halt bill. No 30% staff reductions. Ground for tier 5 and 6 or tier 3. This is all about union stuff. No vendors. Remember I talked about this? Incoming mail being photocopied. Mandate body scans. Boom. Here it is. It's all right here. Listed. I don't know what they want. Recruiting suggestions. It's right here. There we go. All right here. Weird how she doesn't know. Perhaps she can't read. Maybe Kathy Hochul, but no, she reads from teleprompter. So I think she reads. Weird how they didn't know what they wanted. She had no idea. When this was, by the way, this is Buffalo News. Hold on, what station was this? Buffalo. This is WKBW. Buffalo News. She's from Buffalo. Well, right outside of Buffalo. She didn't know. They didn't tell her. No one showed her. No one did. That's how bad it is. I don't know why you would think that, but that's what she thought. She had no idea. She didn't tell her nothing. She can't read. Weird. There we go, my friend. Thank you, Johnson. 5 Sharpe Way memberships. Yes, guys, please jump on the memberships. I appreciate every single one counts. The more we have, the more I can do this, the less I'll be late. And then Mike won't yell at me. See, I don't want Mike yelling at me. He doesn't mean enough. So we don't have to. So please grab these memberships so we can keep going. Appreciate it. Johnson, thank you so much, my friend. The more we go, the better off this will become. So thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Yes. So yeah, she didn't know. Guys, stop acting like she can't read. Clearly, they put it in writing, a full list, and she has no idea. No idea.
We've done everything we can to encourage them to get back to work.
See?
They know they're in violation of the New York State Taylor law.
See that? They're all criminals. They're all criminals because she supports labor. Don't you forget that. Andrea, she supports labor, okay?
They're in violation of a temporary restraining order to return to work.
So she ordered them to go to work. They didn't go. Huh.
We offered an amnesty period.
They offered an amnesty period. Get your ass back to work, slaves, and we won't punish you anymore. We won't fix anything. We will stop punishing you. Just go back to work. We won't fix anything, but we won't punish you. How about that?
Where they could go back to work, no questions asked.
And they would just not be punished.
We also repealed a staffing memo that had been viewed as controversial.
See, they got rid of a memo.
We also suspended portions of the Halt law, which requires certain amount of time out and other. Well,
that's not bad. There was something, but I thought, didn't you just tell me? Didn't you tell me like 30 seconds ago you had no idea what they wanted? They didn't tell you anything? But then why'd you do these 3 things? That's weird. You just guessed?
For activities that we do not have the staffing to implement. I've also had to deploy 6,500 members of the National Guard to do the jobs of those who've walked out.
Yeah.
That means that they've been taken either from their homes or critical assignments,
See
whether
that?
they're protecting assets in New York City or elsewhere.
Wait a minute. They should be protecting assets. You told me crime was down. That can't be true. Okay, something's wrong here. Mike, I think she's lying to us. I know you're shocked. I think she's lying to us. I think she's telling us that there's some crime. Else, why would you care? I don't get it. Something's wrong here.
Against terrorism.
Okay.
We have tried hard to end this.
Okay.
I've had conversations with many, many leaders.
I like that.
But we need a good faith effort
Okay.
to resolve this starting now.
I like that.
I'm prepared to do that.
She's ready.
I understand there's a lot of frustration about the long hours. I have long stood with the corrections officers of this state.
She has stood long with the corrections officers. Forever. She stood with them. She's still with them. When they went 3 years without a contract and she was lieutenant governor, she didn't say anything then. When these were collapsing years ago, she didn't say a word. She's been governor now, what, 4 years now? She didn't figure, she doesn't know what they want. She just told me, I don't know what they want. But I thought you standing next to them. If you were standing next to them, you probably know what they want.
More than I'm going to guess any other governor.
No other
say
governor.
These conditions are hard. I understand that.
Yeah, it's true.
We need more of you on the job.
Yep.
I get that.
Okay.
But we have a situation right now.
Okay. I get we need more of you in the job. I get none of you want this job. I get nobody wants this damn job. I get it. But get to work, goddammit, and I'm not going to change anything. Did I misquote her? I get it's hard. I get you have 16 hours. I get that this is a tough job. Everything's tough. I get it because I stand with you forever. So I'm not going to fix it. Get back to work, you losers. That's what she has to say.
Which is absolutely untenable, especially the fact that there were prisons left unguarded.
Yes.
Think about that. The incarcerated population was left unguarded.
Yes.
There were people from other unions, people who work in healthcare.
And who died?
And the commissary.
Yeah.
Were left unprotected by these actions. Thank God for the National Guard.
Oh, the Guard said, okay, so then they weren't left unprotected. So they weren't. Were they left or were they not? So they weren't. They would have been had the National Guard not been there. Maybe that's a better way of saying it.
They never anticipated.
Okay.
And the condition inside the prison.
They never anticipated.
We've had to start legal proceedings against these individuals.
They're going to arrest them now.
Something I ever would want to do.
I never wanted to do. You could stop. Okay. You're the governor. If you don't want to do it, here's the thing you could do. Not do it. Literally no one is forcing you. You could just not do it. I'm the governor. I'm trapped. You're not trapped. You're the governor. If you don't do it, your punishment is, oh, wait, nothing. You could just not do it.
Enforce. We've also let them know that if you are striking your AWL, you no longer secure the right to have health benefits from the state.
Damn. They taking your health benefits. They put you in jail. This is literally the beatings will continue until morale improves. Okay, look, everyone listening, thinking about becoming a corrections officer, let me be very clear. It's a very hard job. You're in with some terrible people. You're trying to protect people who aren't terrible, because not everybody's terrible, but they're next to terrible people. You're trying to do that. You're trying to, you have to work long hours because you can't just leave. So sometimes you're going to have to just have literally like 2 or 3 straight. Just, you got to keep working. You cannot leave. So you just trapped because someone gets sick or gets in a car accident. It's going to happen all the time. So you can't make plans to have a life. The odds of you getting divorced are insanely high. You're going to meet people going to kill themselves because suicide is, everyone knows someone who's committed suicide as a corrections officer. And the average life expectancy is 59. So the odds are going to drop dead around 60. It's all bad. And I'm not going to fix anything. So get your ass to work. That's what you said. And if you join and you want to quit, I'm going to take your health care and I'm going to put you in jail. So welcome aboard.
Goes away. Your legal proceedings have started. Your legal representation is not covered by the union because this is not sanctioned by the union.
So we are now going to use all the dollars of New York State to sue you guys into oblivion so that none of you will have any money.
They will not pay for this. And I am so grateful to the law-abiding correction officers
The
who are
law-abiding
still
ones.
showing up and want to get back to work in a normal setting. We will get there as soon as possible.
In a normal setting where you are treated like garbage, you have no rights, you don't have due process, and you have to work 16, 18 hours because we say so. That's the normal environment. Why? I'm sure the phones are ringing right now with people who can't wait to go
These
there.
are difficult, difficult jobs. I know that.
You keep saying
I
it.
know that. But people took an oath of office
See
to
that?
protect the public.
You just got to
We
just
have
shut
to
up
get
and
back
take
to
it.
ensuring that that oath is kept.
It's the oath piece. God,
There's
she
an
feels
enormous
terrible
strain
about
on
this.
our system right now.
Yeah.
I
could
encourage
fix it.
everyone to come back to work. We hear you with respect to the long hours. I'm working hard to address that.
She's working
But
hard.
we also have, as you've heard here in the city of Albany, recruitment issues. These are
Yes!
hard jobs. Not everybody's signing up for them. We're doing
Yes, because you make it so horrible. You could make it better, and then people would stay, they wouldn't strike, and they'd want to become corrections officers. I know. My father was one at
doing the
Rikers
very
Island.
best we can. The prison population has declined by half over the last number of years. We're
That's
working
because you
hard
let them all out in the street and put them into the subways of New York. That's not good. No, you put them back in the subways of New York. That's not how that
to
works.
consolidate, making sure that we are maximizing every bed in our facilities. In fact, we're transporting members of the incarcerated population as we speak.
Yep.
To take them to other facilities.
Liberty Death says CEOs work for 3 years without a contract. Correct. They took zeros for 3 years. And you might say, wait a minute, Larry, you keep talking trash. You keep talking trash. What the hell have you done? That's a good question. She's saying she worked so hard, had all these plans, all that stuff. Okay, I got you. I'm going to show you something. Just so you know, you might say, well, Larry, you're just talking trash now. I'm not talking trash. Don't act that way. Hold on. Let me find out where my thing is here. I'm going to show you something here because you guys think I'm talking trash. I'm not talking trash. I bring receipts. You know I do. I bring receipts. You might say, Larry, have you been helping people or doing anything like that? Oh, let me show you right now. All right, hold on. Let me show you right now. This, see if I can get it right. If I can get it right. There we go. All right. This is me. You're going to see me. This is literally 7 years ago. This is 7 years ago. And I was talking to a corrections officer in Wyoming County. Yep. I was talking about fixing the system in New York State with corrections officers 7 years ago. 7 years ago. Yes, 7 years ago. Oh, I'm sorry. You couldn't hear it. Let me go back and do it again. I apologize. Let me reshare this. I apologize. I screwed up in the share because this happens to be only on Facebook, so it's a different way I've got to share it. It seems silly, I know, but it does. So let me try it again. Here we go. So we're here in Asheville, and I'm here with Dana, a corrections officer. He's been out of work for a little bit right now because he's doing his job to the best of his ability, blew his knee out. But he's here, and we're talking about what can we do for the COs and what can we do to fix this system here in New York State. There we go. And you've heard me say it before, and I'll say it again. I know what I know and what I don't know. I know there are people who are in, and I want to make sure he is going to validate what I say. He is a corrections officer. Jail who should be in jail. Absolutely. And I know there are people in jail who probably shouldn't be in jail. Absolutely. And I know there are people in jail who should do their time and deserve a second chance once they paid their debt. Without a doubt. No question. What I don't know is which one is which. I don't know who those people are. How can I fix a system if I don't use the people who see those people every day, who interact with those people every day? It can tell me, Larry, these guys, keep them over here. These guys, okay, they made a mistake, but they get a second chance. These guys shouldn't be here. The CEOs know this, and that guy didn't want to hear that. And that's the issue that I bring up always. I've been talking about this for years. This guy is agreeing with me. He's a corrections officer. If you want to come see me talk, that's what I do. I just met that guy. He happened to come to one of my events. That's how I met him. I happened to meet that guy at one of my events. And he's like, I'm a correct. I said, when I have a talk? Yeah. Set a camera up, had a conversation. That's how that works. That's what I did when I was running in 2018. So that was from 2018. You might say, well, Larry, that's nice, but that's some stuff, right? That's some stuff, you're just hanging out, in this place. That's nice. But did you talk about it someplace else? Did you bring this up anyplace else? Well, yes, I did. This is Ebro in the Morning, also 7 years ago, which is a major morning show here in New York. I don't know if it still is, but it was for sure 7 years ago in New York City.
100%. My father used to be a CO, Rikers Island. So I completely understand the CO problem. And my mom was a felon. So I understand both sides.
And what would you do?
First things first, we're making a huge error by making black and white thinking. And the black and white thinking is everyone in prison is a victim. Not true. Everyone in prison is evil. Not true. There are people in prison who should be in prison. And I'm glad they're in prison. There are people in prison who made a mistake and deserve a second chance. And there are people in prison who shouldn't be in prison. The problem is I don't know which ones are which. You know who does? Corrections officers.
I brought up this issue 7 years ago. And I spoke about it when I went to events. And I spoke about it literally in the press. What other governor candidate has done that? None. Zero. And literally to Joel's point, this should have gotten Larry the full support from Scoba. Correct. And it did not. They still voted Republican anyway. And neither Republican who ran in 2020 and 2022 cares or has done anything about it. I haven't stopped. Even though they have dissed me in this regard. And I went on the whole thing.
We ignore them. They deal with them every single.
I talked about the whole thing. I did the entire show talking about that and other things. Of course I did. But you might say, well, Larry, that's great, but you were running for office. So that's that. Oh, no, there's more, right? Because this is about 4 years ago or so, if I could find this one here. And this was when I was just doing my Sharpe Way show, like 4 years ago, right? Right now, this is Sharpe Way show, what, number 5 something or other, 578, that I'm on right now. This one is, I don't remember what Sharpe Way show it is. It was like 4 years ago. So I don't know, maybe like 200 or something. I don't know what it was.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Glenn says, yeah, look how good behavior worked in, Dannemora.
Dannemora is more of a famous prison in upstate New York, outside of Plattsburgh.
Those dudes were able to escape because of extra privileges. Yeah, it's Glenn, this is a valid point, right? When you're dealing with prisoners in general, right, you really have to try to, it's a balance. I hear CEOs tell me all the time, they say, now I haven't heard it in a while, I'm going to mess it up. If you're a corrections officer, you'll get it when I say it. Give the prisoners exactly what they
I forgot the thing. That's the sad part. I didn't forget it.
give the prisoners exactly what they expect, nothing more. Something like that. If you're a CEO, there's a saying that say you give the prisoners exactly what they're supposed to get. That's it. No more, no less. And my point is, if they start taking everything away, the prisoners have nothing to lose.
Yes.
So you want to give them something, but how far do you want to go? And my point has always been the same thing. I think you want to let the CEOs be part of this, and too often in New York State, they're not.
This is 4 years ago. What are their current problems they've been talking about? What they put in? No more consultants. That's part of their demands. Well, I've been talking about this for years. Literally, I bring in your receipts. Years. Okay. Well, Larry, do you still visit them? Do you still care? Well, yeah, I got more receipts. This is about 3 years ago, give or take.
I am here in Attica, New York, here in Wyoming County at the Attica State Prison. Why would I be here? Why would I even stop by here? There is a plight that's happening across New York State that people don't understand.
This was 3 years ago. I was talking about this plight from 3 years ago. I literally had to go across the street to take the film, and the guy was with me, set it up right across for me to do this, and I had a mic on me, and I went inside and let him know that I was doing this. This is Attica. Yes, Attica. This is where it is in New York and Wyoming County. I said I visit prisons. I wasn't making that up. This is me literally visiting. I visited the prison first. When I was done, I came and I shot this film right after. I shot this.
As we fight over bail reform and criminal activity, who we're ignoring right now, sadly, is some of our corrections officers. Corrections officers across this state are struggling too. Don't get me wrong. Do prisoners have rights? Of course they do. Absolutely. What we've forgotten is so do the people who we have tasked to guard them and to work with them on a daily basis. So you might say, Larry, how bad is it? Well, something you may not understand. If you're in a prison guard and you're as a corrections officer and COVID hits, you can't go home. You can't close the prison down because of COVID. It stays open, which means if you're stuck here and your relief can't come because they're sick or ill, I guess you're working 16 hours. You had help? No, that's what you got.
And that, by the way, is what they're talking about now. That was 3 years ago. Actually, it was 4 years ago. I think it was 4 years ago. That was 3 or 4 years ago because right after COVID. 3 or 4 years ago. That's what that was. And I was there talking about it then. Everything they're talking about now, I've been talking about for 7 years. And I just showed you the details. And well, Larry, do you still care? Okay, one last piece to show you what I mean. And this is literally from last week. I was talking about this last week. They didn't get that. They got pack your trash, you're gone. Pack your trash, you're gone. You do a job most people don't want to do. You do a job that that everybody knows someone who's committed suicide. This is corrections officers. Where the life expectancy is 59 years old. Corrections officers. And something goes wrong, you're gone. That's it. You're gone. And you see it happening now. This was last week. There is no candidate, there is no person who has supported prison reform more than I have. And everything that she says, I don't know what they want. Your people read my website. We know they do. They copy my shit and then put it out and act like it's theirs. So we know that her people are reading my website. So either she can't read, she's lying, or she doesn't care. Maybe all three. Maybe some combo. I've been talking about prison reform to include, as you hear me say, prisoners have rights, but more important than that, I know it sounds mean, but more importantly, their families matter because we need those families to get them back in action when they get out. The families have to be supported. We have to care about the families. And for those, and I say the opposite too, there are some very bad people in prison. And sometimes those people, no family visits them. That should tell you something too. They don't want them out. They don't want them out either. That happens too. So we got to worry about the families. It does matter. Why? You might go, I don't care. And I think, hold on, someone did say that. Hold on, I got to follow it real fast. Kayjon says, I get it. I just don't care. You should, Kayjon, because most people get out of prison. And when they come out, are they going to rob you? Are they going to hurt you? Are they going to go back in and make you pay for them? Or are they going to get back out, have a family and support system, and start becoming important people in our system? They should. They should. If we're going to put them in prison, I get it. When they get out, I know I'm going back in again. Depending upon the state, we spend anywhere from $50,000 to $150,000 per prisoner per year. I don't want to spend that. I want them working and paying taxes instead. Working and giving jobs, starting businesses. I don't want them doing this. What a waste of time. What a waste of time. John, thank you for the 99, my friend. I appreciate it. I don't want them. You should care. It does matter is my point. It does matter, right? That's it. Joel says, sure. You went to prison to talk to actual CEOs, but Kathy knows their job is hard. True. Yes. Yeah, it's true. Yes. I don't think she talks to them. She talks to union reps and such. I talk to average just CEOs. Like if you see me, there's a picture. If you look, there's a picture in my intro of people walking outside and a brick building and me shaking hands. That's me outside of a prison. I think that was Auburn. I don't remember which one it was. It might have been Auburn. I forgot which one. So outside of a prison, and what I do is I go there during the shift, and people coming in and coming out during a shift, right? I call up and ask, when's the shift? Oh, it's 3:30, whatever, 3 o'clock, whenever. It's usually in the afternoon. Whenever that time is, given to each prison is different, but usually around 3 o'clock in that area, depending on the prison. So I just go there, right? I go there and I just shake hands and talk to them. And some talk and some don't. Kay John says, I do get it. And I care. I was mocking Queen Kathy. Oh, I like that. That was a good, I didn't get your mocking. I like it. Yes, that's true. I care. I get it. I get it. Shut up. That's true. You know what? That's actually pretty good. I like that. Susan says, you make sense, Larry. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. Yes, I do appreciate that. So, but this is my point. She talks all the trash, but never has an answer. Most governors don't. What she's doing is just getting money and spending it, and nothing is being fixed. That's the issue. Phil says it looks like a fort. Dannemora does. Yes. So does, if I'm not mistaken, Auburn Prison is one of the oldest prisons in the country. Yeah, it's the oldest in New York State. Auburn Prison is the oldest in New York State. It's one of the oldest in the country. It looks like they built a fortress. It does. Auburn does, and so does Dannemora. They built like fortresses. But Auburn is older. I think it's the oldest in the state. Oh, hold on. Now I'm curious. Now I'm curious. Let's see here. It's funny. Someone must have put this here because in Google it says that I visited it. It's kind of funny. So yes. It's a maximum security facility opened 1818. There we go. Yes. It's opened in 1818. There we go. So that's where it opened up. It's a very old prison. And it is here, the site of the first execution by electric chair in 1890. Look at that. We should be proud, I guess. Actually, no, but yeah. So yeah, that's Auburn Prison. It also looks like a castle almost. So yes, it might have been Auburn that I take that picture. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I do. As I always talk about, Iran goes, yes, it's the oldest. I thought so. Yeah, I thought it was. The whole piece that I keep bringing up here is this is why things don't get solved. They don't get solved because it's always about giving away money, giving away jobs, giving away, acting like you're doing something when you're not, versus actually trying to solve a problem. I talk about solving problems often because that's what people actually want. People would not be as mad or as upset if problems were being solved. If people were happier, and I talk about it all the time. I was the only candidate, and I still say it. I talk about happiness. Happiness may sound weird. I know it does sometimes. But literally, in our founding documents, they speak about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's in our founding documents. Individuals free to pursue happiness as they see fit. That's what we're supposed to be about. We have lost that. I don't hear Governor Hochul or any governor saying that's what's important. What I hear they're saying is my job is to keep you safe no matter what because you're my children. You aren't adults. You're my children. I will do as I see fit to keep you safe. Shut up. Shut up and go to bed. That's what I hear. I don't get this. We haven't fixed it. And the part that Joel brings up, which bothers me, is I didn't get the corrections officers union endorsement. I didn't get them backing me. None of them. And I physically went to the prisons and met them, and they wouldn't do it. I did have one union rep sit with me one time. I forgot what prison it was, but he did sit with me with that. He said he would, invite other people to talk, and it was like me and one dude. Like it was 3 guys. That's it. That's the best I ever got from the union. 3 guys. Never got more than that. It was very disappointing. I really wish we had gotten more and people had cared. But they didn't. Guys, I'm asking you, please, if you would click, which one, the one I'm talking about. Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. You see what I'm trying to show you, why it matters. I hope it does matter to you. Please share this or repost this now. If you haven't, please do so. You can always subscribe if you want to on YouTube. That'd be amazing. You can follow me on Facebook, X, and Rumble. It's free. Just do it. And then the guy who runs my life right now, Mr. Rhythm, Al Gore, Rhythm, that guy who runs everything, he likes it when you click it and when you subscribe and when you follow. So do those things. They're free. It's okay. Please, if you want to spend some cash, please do so. $49 per month. Click join on YouTube to become a member, or on Rumble, $49 per month. Click subscribe during the live. Either of those are good and great. And if you want to super chat me, of course, you can super chat me on YouTube or rant me on Rumble. Either of those. Let me grab a couple of comments. I hope that was interesting for you at least. Right? I hope it was. She has more, but I'm not sure if we want to show many of them. I'm not sure if we want to. So, yeah. Let's see if I can grab this. And then Why Liberty says, just pay your $9 toll. Be glad it's not $25. Yes, that's true. Yes. They just, look, they're happy now for it. They're like, yay. As long as Trump doesn't get mad, then we're good. Yes. So I'm over on Instagram, and Fies TA800 says, sadly, prisoners lose base with American culture depending on how long they're in, making it harder for them to acclimate to the civilian world. Yes, which is why we should be going out of our way to have families visit. You're totally correct. Is it Fies? Or is it Fies? I can't tell. Maybe it's Fiesta. Could be that. Whatever we can do to get people, to get families to meet with prisoners is good. I don't want them coming back. And you might go, Larry, they're bad people. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Yes. But either way, I don't want them coming back for two reasons. For a human reason, give them a second chance. A human reason. And a financial reason. Do you want to pay 50 to 150 grand every year to keep them locked up? I would like everyone to have a second chance. And I don't want to pay an average of 75 grand or more, depending upon where you are in the state and in the country, to keep people locked up when they should be out doing something that makes sense, doing something that makes people happy when they should be doing that. I think it just makes sense. Kathy Hochul is a terrible governor. Kathy Hochul, if she doesn't know what they want, is incompetent. If she does know, she's lying. Either one of those two. I have been talking about this for 7 years. And not just when I ran. I talk about it when I didn't run. I talk about when I was running. I talk about it now, last week. Every issue they're talking about now, I knew was a problem 7 years ago. And I said it publicly 7 years ago. Cuomo did not care at all. Hochul does not care at all. And we wonder why the corrections officers have been through hell and why their outcomes have been terrible. You think I'm glad that guy died? I'm not glad that guy died. I hate that he died. Do you think I'm glad those corrections officers killed him? Of course not. It's horrible they did that. Horrible. But let's be forward with each other. That was a system where that was going to happen. That's why it happened. Didn't happen because the corrections officers are evil, bad people. That's just people are saying stuff because they want to hate cops. I get it. People hate cops. I get it. I don't hate them. I don't. I see all law enforcement as human beings. I don't worship cops either. I'm not a back the blue no matter who guy either. I'm not that guy either. You guys know I'm not. Cops are humans. All law enforcement. They're people. They're trying to get a job done to the best of their ability. If you give them a crappy environment, you will get crappy outcomes. That's how it works. And the bad part with law enforcement, a crappy outcome, people die. Right? If I'm doing something else, I have a crappy outcome, maybe people don't make money. Sucks. You should make money. But when it's cops and law enforcement, people die. So let's have a better environment. Instead of ordering them to go back, fix this. It matters. Absolutely. Joel over on Rumble says, I've been mentioning Larry Sharpe on NYS company strike-related TikToks, and I'm getting many thumbs up for the mention. Oh, see, some remember. Some remember I've been here trying to make this happen. Maybe you can show them this, Joel. Maybe they'll like it. So, yeah, I hope that's true. Yes. All right. Phil says, do you have some time to visit prisons while you're upstate? You're going to be close to some. Probably not this time around. The problem that I'm having now, which I don't do it as often, is because I work during the week. Remember, when I go upstate, I take 3 days off. I'm not working at all. I can't do shows. I'm not working. I can't talk to my clients. So I basically lose 3 days or 4 days every time I go up. So I try to get to as many events as I can. So when I do that, it's rare I get a chance to visit a prison. I don't do many visits at all, I'll tell you that. I only go to my events, really. Now, when I was running for office, or I wasn't working as much, either of those, I would take many more days. So I'd go upstate for like a 4 or 5. You remember, Phil, you were my driver a couple of times. I would go upstate and even sometimes swap out and do like 3 or 4 days here, 2 days here. When I'm doing multiple days, I'm taking more time. I'll stop by and do a video on a town or something. I'll stop by and do a video here or there, and I'll stop by and visit prisons. So I'll do that a lot. If you look at some of my, see if I can find a couple of these that I would do. This is one from, I will see if I can show this one. I have a bunch of these. I can, you know what? Let me head over to, let me get out of this one. And if it, some of the videos that I've done, I'll just stop by a spot and just do a video, right? I'll just stop by a spot and do a video. And I can do that often because I have time. That's the issue. Do I have the time to just stop and do a video? That becomes a problem. And I often don't have the time, but I did a couple. If I could find 1 or 2 here. Of course, now I'm looking for them. I can't find them because, of course, now I want them. Okay, here's one. There we go. All right. This shows this. This is a one from Don't Give Up New York, and it shows all the spots that I would just stop by and talk about them. Each little spot I would stop by.
I'm here in Tully, New York, Catatuck, New York, in Binghamton, New York, at the bus station, at a rail center, a place that used to be a connector for Tully and even New York City. And it's not bustling. The bus station isn't bustling. Binghamton isn't bustling. People aren't rushing back and forth from Binghamton to Syracuse, and Syracuse to Rochester, Rochester to Buffalo. They're not doing that right now. They're not enjoying the wonder of this state. Anything you could want here. Wineries and farmland and mountains, hiking, fishing, hunting. Would you rather have culture? Would you rather go wine tasting? Would you rather have classical music? All here in this amazing state. But sadly, people are leaving. They're giving up. They're giving up because they believe that either they're not safe or it's not affordable. Maybe there's not enough opportunity. It's causing them to leave. It's causing them to give up. All of us in New York should be able to enjoy all of New York's glory and natural beauty. We need something more. The state is awesome, and we can fix it. It's worth fighting for. We can get people out to do it again. Help out farmers, help out small businesses, help out places like Tully and all parts of upstate New York and New York City. We can do that. We can let them know that they should not give up New York. We can't give up New York. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up New York.
Now, those are the places I went to. And that was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, right? So when I'm out, I will do it. I will stop by. I will have place and do it. So when I have a shot, I'll stop by. I just can't always, I don't always have the time to be forward with you. I just don't have all this time. Remember, when I do it, I'm just losing money. So, but you see, I've been saying this for years. New York State is a beautiful, amazing state with so much in it. It is our government that is garbage. That's what it is. It's our government that's garbage. And we don't fix it. And if we don't fix it, people leave. And they shouldn't. They should stay. I'm not mad at them for leaving. I get it. I get it. It's just heartbreaking when they leave, right? It's just heartbreaking because I don't want them. I don't want them to leave. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. That was a fun one. That was a fun video that actually Craig put that together. So that was really good. I appreciate all of Craig's work on that. But whenever I can, I stop and do it and then put it together and have compilations. I do a couple compilation videos of me crossing the state. I did one from 2018, one from 2022. I mix and match whenever I cross. I am, again, by the way, those you don't know, remember something. I am heading off this weekend. This weekend, I am heading off this weekend, and I will be out I will be out and about this weekend in New York State. Let me see if I can find my, there it is right there. Okay, I will show that right now. I'll be out in New York State. If you live in New York State, please come by and see me. There it is right there. February 2nd, February 28th, this Friday, 6 p.m. I'll be at the Creekside America Restaurant in Catskill. Saturday, 3 stops, 9 a.m., Sherborne Diner, 1 p.m., El Rancho in Watkins Glen, 5 p.m., the Copper Keg in Cuba. Sunday, March 2nd, 10 a.m. at Chef Stanley's, and 3 p.m. the Deluxe Diner. So these are all individual places. Come see me. Buy something. If you're not in a good financial spot, buy a cup of coffee. If you are in a good financial spot, then you know what? Buy a meal. And if you're really in a good spot, like you've got some good cash going on right now, bring a friend and buy him or her a meal too, right? Support the local bit. They're all local businesses. None of them are chains. They're all local businesses. Support a local business. Come see me if you can. Ryan says, it doesn't matter anymore how beautiful the state is when there are goofy politicians who propose goofy systems, whether it be New York or Missouri. Don't give up. Yes, I love that. Thank you so much, Ryan. That is great. And that's a great way to wrap this show. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for giving me all this time. I appreciate it. I will be on tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll be in AMA. Thank you for doing the Wednesday with Kath. And some of you don't like when I do Kathy Hochul, but she is my guy. I do like that. So with that in mind, guys, please take a couple minutes for tomorrow. Show up if you can. 7 p.m. I'll do an AMA. Ask me whatever question you want, and then I'll be off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in running around upstate New York. I will see you all. Oh, wait, before I say that, hold on. One more thing. When we're done here, I got it. When we're done here, put in the comments afterwards a very tough job. Whatever that job is, a very tough job. I will see you all very soon.